Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is Dennis Hall again. And today, what's been on my mind is this whole thing, this whole word about bias. We have heard a lot about it because of issues of race, issues of gender discrimination, all those type of things. And so the word bias is really a big buzzword. So for those of you who may not know much about it, I just wanted to briefly share about it because I really do believe that all of us have some kind of bias. And even though I know psychologists and sociologists have really studied this, there's a lot of papers, books, all those things written on it. I'm just going to discuss two. And the two I'm going to talk about are confirmation bias and implicit bias. First of all, bias, in my opinion and in other opinions, really impact our everyday life. Biases are really just preconceived notions that we have come to hold dear to us. And whether it's a confirmation or whether it's implicit, our behavior is dependent upon what we perceive or what our bias is. So let me get into this. So first I'm going to talk about confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is when we hold a belief, when we hold a belief about a person or about a situation or about a thing. And what we do is we only find those facts, we only find information that will support our already existing notion or belief. So we're really not open for change. We're only wanting to gain ammunition or to gain support for what we already believe. So when we find information contrary to that fact, then we just ignore it or we kind of rationalize it away. We kind of spin it and say, that it really doesn't matter, that what we believe has already been confirmed because we've actively sought out what our beliefs are. So that is called confirmation bias. An example of that is that we are seeing it like all over the place because of the political season. So if I am a Biden supporter, I am, and this is given an example of a confirmation bias. So I've already said in my heart that I'm going to support Biden. It doesn't matter what, how the debates, how the debates have gone, who won, or automatically Biden is going to win every debate, right? Because this is called confirmation bias, is because I've already set my heart on who I'm going to vote for, who I'm going to support. And there's like nothing can be said, nothing can be done by Trump that would ever sway my mind. And so that is called a confirmation bias when we only use that information to support the bias, the preconceived notion that we already have. So you can see how that can be like really dangerous, that we would just totally ignore truth just to support something or someone or some idea that we already have, instead of really being open to change, open to reconsider. That we're so adamant, that we're so like that nothing would change us. And so that is called confirmation bias. That one is so much more volitional, that we are like choosing to be biased, choosing to take our sides, and that, doggone it, I'm not going to change. Well, the other bias that I want to cover today briefly is implicit bias or unconscious bias. And that was a little bit more sneaky, and that is one that we have formed this perception, have formed this idea in our mind just based on maybe experiences, based on information. And so we have formed this in us. A lot of times media will have us will shape what we think, and we don't even know it. There's so many subliminal messages that we act upon, and so that's implicit bias. And our behavior will be impacted by this belief that is subconscious. I mean, that we're not even consciously thinking to be a racist or thinking to be, a sexist. But sometimes there are hidden beliefs. Even religion can cause some hidden beliefs that will cause us to act on those beliefs. I want to give an example on one of them. Really hits home, close to home, on this implicit bias, and that is a situation that occurred with my brother many years ago. My brother, his name is Melvin. He's my older brother, and Melvin is a genius. He is so smart. He is definitely a genius. Genius. He is so much a genius that Melvin was skipped a grade, and he graduated at 16 years old. But what's so interesting is that Melvin went to his guidance counselor, because Melvin wanted to go to college and, wanted some advice. Well, the guidance counselor actually steered him to go into a trade, to go into like plumbing, to be an electrician. It was something, more to do with his hands, as opposed to the counselor really didn't look at that this young man was about to graduate at 16, that he had done really well on his ACTs, that he was an honor student, yet she directed him to a trade. I mean, that's so interesting. I really believe it was about bias. I don't think she intentionally was trying to like demean him or say he wasn't smart enough for college because he was black. But that is what really the result was, that her bias, that black men were not capable, and that black men, the best that they could do was to go into a trade. And and that's not to say that going into a trade is a bad thing, but it is a bad thing when a person like limits you, that's the only thing that you can do, when you were destined to go to college and destined to do great things, in your sphere of expertise. So just to finish that story, as Paul Harvey's saying, now this is the rest of the story. Well, the rest of the story is, my brother went on to attend the University of Illinois, and he eventually got his PhD from the University of Illinois, and he was able to get a teaching position as a professor at Sangamon State University, and it ended up he became the youngest tenured professor at Sangamon State University. So, and then from there on, he has gone to be a dean of education at University of Maryland, University of California, Irvine, Florida Atlantic University in Boca Raton. Just he has just really been stellar in education and in his advancement. But if he had listened to this counselor, who I really believe had this unintentional implicit bias towards him, that towards black men, that's the best that they could do was to go into a trade, that it could have had such an impact. And I'm wondering just how many black men listened to her that really could have maybe done more. So anyways, I just wanted to share this about bias. And I'm not pointing any fingers except at me, because I know I'm guilty of both. I've been guilty of both biases. And the thing is, though, what's important is that we all become aware of our biases. And the more that we become aware of ourselves, aware of our biases, the better that we can make conscious decisions not to judge people based on things that we may not know to be true. It's best to really investigate and really to get all the answers. In the confirmation bias, let's listen to truth, through the whole circular truth, and not just have our minds made up and that we just shoot down everything that it very well could be true. And with implicit bias, let's examine ourselves and understand why we make the decisions, because these decisions impact our communities, they impact our workplace, and they impact almost every facet of our socialization. So I think it's important that we understand what biases are. So this is Dennis Hall, and I hope you get something out of this today. And this is kind of what I want to do with my life is I want to be that person that brings racial groups together. I want to break down those barriers. I want to break down the barriers between us, the sexes, between the genders. I want to be that person that provides opportunity for everyone based on what they can do and based on their character. That we don't judge people by their outer, but let's examine and get to know them by the character. And that sounds a little familiar. That was Martin Luther King Jr. And so that's my mission in life. I really would like to be that person to educate and to inform, but also to bring folks together, and that we as a team can do mighty and great exploits. So examine ourselves, examine what biases we might have, and let's try our best to correct those, so that we will be a better team member and we will be a better person in our social construct. This is Dennis Hall, and my bias for you today is you're going to have a great day. Take care.